Naringel Primary School was my very first primary school in Manus Island after I graduated from the Bale Teachers College in 1964. Now, as a teacher, I had a feeling that education was designed to be more than just classroom experience, and so as often as possible I would take the students outside for activities that can be best described as cultural. One of the first things I did was I asked the students how they made sago. They proceeded to show me. Now, sago comes from a palm that grows in the swamps. This sago palm is quite large, and when cut down, the crown and the base of the tree are cut off, as the sago is only found in the trunk. The bark on each side of the fallen trunk is peeled back to allow access to the pith of the sago. Now, this pith is white and it's quite full of starch. People then sit on either side of the trunk and using claw-shaped tools, they beat the pith of the sago until it disintegrates into a fluffy fibre. This they carry off in bags to be washed so that the starch may be extracted. There being no access to tap water in the swamp, whatever clean water is present is used to wash the sago. During washing, the liquid starch flows out, usually into a large container. In most cases, a sago tree would be pretty big and they would use a small canoe. As the sago pith is washed, there's very little sago left in the pith, and this is thrown away as mulch into the swamp. Once the sago operation is finished and the tree is cleaned out, then the water is tipped out of the canoe and the starch which has settled to the bottom is gathered and put into bags. Once in the bags, water is poured into the bag to settle the starch down again and maybe cleanse it a little. The bags are hung up and left to dry, and later on brought back home, usually to the kitchen, to be dried even further. After a while, this sago is quite dry and friable and can be taken out of the sack bit by bit, crumbled and fried with coconut usually. It is really quite a tasty dish.